So Alex can't make it tonight.
Because she has to work.
She has to work, and they're keeping her. And I keep telling her to...
it's a Scotch emergency.
It's a Scotch emergency. And they're not budging, so she's going to go to HR and file a complaint and sue them for discrimination because she should be here for the Scotch emergency.
Yeah, because her cousin Glenn is in trouble.
Yeah, her cousin Glenn's in trouble. Some businesses just don't understand family emergencies. Drinking. Yeah. Just crazy. Now, we invited them to the Scotch emergency. They might let her go.
Yeah, maybe call up HR and tell them to get here. They're invited too.
Cheers.
Welcome,
What
you have to put up with.
I'm gonna fire you.
Me? Why?
Both of you. Go to your little roast.
I don't want to be in the hole.
Okay.
Go
have a seat.
Go start putting food in your mouth. Start.
Cheers.
Welcome.
How are you today?
I'm good.
We're back, and we're doing something I've been really excited to do. I have been waiting for a very long time to try the Glenmorangie, or to do an episode on the Glenmorangie original. This is something that my daughter got me for Christmas, and I have been trying not to drink much of it. And I'm really, really excited that we finally get to this point. We're getting fully into our Christmas stuff. And our problem is that we buy. The problem is I buy a lot. And so we have so many to do. I mean, just bottles upon bottles upon bottles to review. And sometimes it seems like it takes us forever to get there. And so, like last week, I bought a couple of whiskeys from Japan, and it'll probably be 3 months before we get there, because we put them in order of a list. We don't put them off necessarily. Sometimes we skip some, but on purpose. But we try to put them in order of how we get them. And so it's been a while. It's almost 4 months since Christmas. So I'm really excited that we're into our Christmas collection. So, Glenmorangie Original. It's a Scotch from, I think, I'm probably wrong. I think it's a Highland. It's the Glenmorangie distillery, and they have a whole slew of different variations of this. I mean, like dozens of different variations. A lot of very limited bottles, a lot of special bottles. I think they really only have 5 main styles, but then you get into their limited and their special editions, and it just goes on forever. It's $32.99 at Total Wines & More, so not too expensive for a Scotch. 80 proof, and this is the original, aged 10 years. And you've had this already, right? Because I think we broke everything open on Christmas morning.
Yeah. Couple people got a little.
Everyone did. Everyone hit their limit before we could finish tasting everything.
Now,
not me.
Both of y'all stopped, too.
One of the things about Glenmorangie is they do age it in ex-bourbon barrels. So not just ex-whiskey barrels, but actual bourbon barrels. So let us look at our, our cost is $32.99, so that's a 2-barrel. And we've had some discussion, I don't know if you've been involved in this discussion, but we've had some discussion about actually adjusting the barrel cost to maybe doing a 5-barrel is under 20, adjusting it by $10, because too many of our bottles are around the 30, 40, because the price has changed on liquor dramatically since we started this. And so being a 2-barrel on a $30 to $40 range seems a little bit harsh. So we're thinking about adjusting it by 10 to 20 bucks. I don't know.
Hey, and
it's a
then we
conversation.
kind of the scope of the channel kind of shifted a little bit from the common man to the
hard to find and the
Exotic.
So we
as far as sorry, that's kind of bad of me.
Did you just pick your nose?
No, I was chewing my nail because I had a hangnail there, and that's kind of like gross
you can get
for
it.
my hundreds and hundreds. I mean, 70 subscribers, but now we are probably one of the few channels out there that devote ourselves to a lot of exotic alcohol, bourbons and whiskeys. Almost everybody else out there that has a big following is doing, Glenmorangies or something.
Well, I think most
Mainstream.
people don't jet set around the world like some.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people do jet set, but they just don't look for those. I mean, they don't have a purpose in mind to go find local whiskeys, which is something that I and my wife really enjoy doing. So I think that's what puts us above the rest. And we do have a Instagram now, and it's getting lots and lots of traction in the short, basically week and a half, 2 weeks that we've had it up. And so I've been posting lots of our pours of the days, which are exotics or common stuff. But hopefully that helps our subscriber count. Make sure if you're watching, though, you share. That's important. So let's get back to the Glenmorangie. $32.99, so that's putting it at a 2-barrel. Let's look at aroma. Our aromas are sharp alcohol, pungent, mild, light, and pleasant. And I already know what this is. Without a doubt. So, at this point in the channel, me, stop talking, waiting for them to start talking.
I'm
And
still
they don't.
smelling.
We are contemplating it and give it a true evaluation. You're just hasty.
I'm hasty?
Mm-hmm.
Let's not be hasty. We'll be here for 4 years thinking about this.
Definitely smell some sweetness,
Now
some
it's
oaky,
everything.
an oaky sweetness, some citrus.
It's got something that I can't really.
It's tangy.
Tangy.
A meringue.
Meringue. It's called Glenmorangie. You want to say it's
rainy?
It's that sort of
almost. It's probably the oaky barrel, but it's almost like an almond nutty flavor or aroma to it. What do you think?
It smells good. I'm gonna give it a 4.
A 4?
I give it a 3.5. I still get a little bit of alcohol.
3.5.
There is a little bit of alcohol, but
I don't smell alcohol. I just get the bite in my nose.
Okay, so the kind of the burn.
The burn, yeah.
I kind of get that, but I'm actually putting this borderline light to pleasant. I'm giving it a 4.5. I think maybe Cody, you said this. It's got a little kind of a cream aroma to it.
I didn't say
Oh, maybe it was him. Somebody said it, wasn't me.
I said tingy or tangy or.
Oh, okay. Is that how you cleanse your palate? He just stuck his nose in his coffee cup and smelled.
that's gonna ruin it.
Okay, let's look at flavor.
Coffee's baseline for me.
Very alcohol, bitter but palpable, moderate, pleasant, and rich. Oh, I can get that nutty flavor. Up front, it's a little smooth, creamy, not very big bite, and then you get that kind of nutty flavor.
I don't think creamy's applicable.
Applicable?
Yeah.
Applicable.
Yeah, there we go.
Say it again.
Applicable.
Applicable.
There you go. Applicable.
Cody uses big words.
I get a little bit of heat on the tail end, a little spicy heat, but right now,
harsh.
Not harsh at all.
Detect it, but not.
But I do get that smell I'm getting, that nutty almond smell. And when I did the research, I kind of kept it to a minimum, so I don't know if you can see the paper here, but there's no tasting notes or aroma notes on this paper. So it's not like I looked, but I'm getting this nutty aroma, and then I definitely taste it.
Kind of a nutty, creamy. Yeah.
Ooh, like that nuts and cream we have.
I still don't get the cream on the talking about, but I associate cream and stuff with milk. I don't know.
Okay.
Thickness.
But it's definitely got a nutty flavor. I'm giving it a 4. I really like this. One thing that it doesn't have for being a Scotch, a single malt Scotch, is it doesn't have that smoky flavor that
the smoky peaty. No, it's
at all.
Not at all. I'd give it a 4 too.
Okay. A 4.2 or a 4?
4.2.
Also.
No, 4 also.
Also give it a 4.
I too will give it a 4.
I would actually probably give it a 4 because it has a lot of.
He said that as in he would give it a 4, but I'm waiting for the but.
No, I
okay.
Because it has a lot of flavors that you can sit there and sip it and taste something different each time.
Right. Now and this is only $32, so that's a pretty good rating so far. How are you dealing with the bite? Because there is a little bit of that heat on the end, but not much.
And I felt a little bit on the tip of the tongue too. And actually, you know how when you try it as you go, it kind of changes. You acclimate to it. And I found more of the the first taste was more on the tip of the tongue instead of the.
And see, I'm always getting it at the tail end.
I had more at the tip than the tail end. But
okay, so what would you give the bite?
I would give it a 3.5. It's really not that bad. It's more of a numbingness, not painful or sharp.
I think I'd give it a 4 because when I first tried it, there was that little.
So you're giving it a 4.
But it was not like, it wasn't bad at all. It was just you had a drink of Scotch.
So between my 4.5, 4, 3.5, and 2, that's a 14 total, which is a 13.5, which is 3.5 barrel, a 3.5 barrel. I just threw a bunch of numbers out there, and just trust me. Andy, you're giving it straight 4s other than the 2-barrel cost, so that's also a 14, 13.5. Because I have a half barrel more than you on one, a half barrel less on you on another. And Cody, you're giving it basically a half barrel less on 2 of our categories than us, giving you a 13, which is a 13.25. So you could go either way to a 3-barrel or a 3.5 barrel. Since we're at 3.5, we're going to shove it up to a 3.5 barrel.
Perfectly fine with me.
And I think that this is actually a 4.5 barrel.
I was going to say
because of the cost.
I'd give it a half bonus barrel and just pump it up to a 4.
Yeah, I would not say a full.
Well, no, I meant if you didn't have the cost. I'm not saying that I'm giving it the bonus barrel at all. I'm saying that if it wasn't for that cost factor.
And what is the cost again?
It's a 2-barrel. It's at $32.99.
I'd say we give it a bonus half barrel and just make it a 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can do that.
I mean, for a $32, it's fair. I would get that. I would get that again.
So a 4-barrel overall. I am fine with that. I am really liking the Glenmorangie.
I want more now because there's more flavors that I kept detecting in different ways.
And this is something that I think, this is another one that you would give like first-time Scotch tasters.
Oh yeah, an introduction to Scotch.
Because it's not peaty, and that throws people off of Scotch. Is if they don't like peat, they may not try other Scotches.
I think it's not that first-time Scotchers don't like peat or anything. No, it's just they're not really expecting that much a bold flavor.
Yeah, but there's also people that will try Scotch for the first time, already not liking peat from trying a peated whiskey or what have you.
Yeah.
and then we'll think that's all Scotch is. When
Yeah, this would
maybe a large portion, it's just not all.
Okay.
this would be a good one for a first time Scotch
Yep.
drinker.
And it's a nice one.
I like it.
So make sure you hit the like and subscribe, share the channel, let people know about our channel. We really would like to grow. We're not really interested in subscriber counts, but we'd like to get more interactivity. We do have a lot of people who like to leave little comments, and I try to answer them all. But yeah, we'd like to know more about what you would want to try. Not that we can run out and buy it all, but yeah, we're just more interested in your opinion. So that's why we want to spread the channel. Subscribe count does add the bonus that it makes us feel loved.
Yeah, and check out.
He doesn't feel loved very often.
No.
I think his partner is kind of a bully and picks on him a lot. I don't know. I'll have to watch the videos and see. Check out the merchandise, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, YouTube, and we
You
do
can get
have.
yourself a fancy shirt like
Yep.
this.
Yeah, I got to get a new one because it's always a gray. I need to get a black one. On the webpage, bourbonandbooze.com, off to the right-hand, left-hand side. See, left. Up to the left-hand side, you can check our whiskey ratings, and it gives the ratings for all of our episodes. And off to the side of that is our pending, and you'll see how many pending that we have. And I need to update that list dramatically because we don't have any of our foreign acquisitions from my last trip, or our recent purchases, or Cody's wonderful win that we'll talk about. He won some Scotch.
I never win anything.
He never wins anything, and he won a Scotch. So we'll talk about that in the upcoming episode.
I mean,
So
technically, I did win it, no matter what other people say.
All
I
right.
answered the phone,
right.
so I won it.
remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey. And this is pretty great whiskey.
Yeah,
I
I like
like
it.
this. It may not be on the radar of most of those Scotch snobs. That's a bad word.
Yeah.
But this is really good, and I'm glad that I got it. And thanks to my daughter for buying it for me for Christmas. All right, cheers.
Laters. It was good.